What if your money story changed today? This video invites you to view money as a set of behaviors shaped by beliefs, not a fixed fate, and to practice a practical path that blends psychology with everyday budgeting, decision-making, and tiny, repeatable actions that accumulate toward real financial stability. We often assume willpower alone will save us from debt or poor choices, yet behavior science shows that tiny nudges, predictable routines, and supportive environments shape what we actually do more than heroic intentions, and that knowledge alone rarely moves the needle without a system you can trust. By understanding your mental shortcuts, you can design a system that makes the right choices automatic, so the right action happens before the urge even forms, and you stop fighting a moving target with a sprinting mindset. First, money mindset is not about moral virtue, it is about the stories you tell yourself and the patterns you adopt, and the simplest way to start is to map those stories so you can see where your energy is actually directed. If you pair a belief like "I am a saver" with a concrete habit like automation, you begin to embody the identity you want, rather than chasing motivation that flickers and fades when life gets busy. In psychology, scarcity thinking narrows attention and increases impulsive choices, while abundance thinking broadens focus and supports long-run goals, shifting from short-term relief fantasies to longer-term value creations that align with your deepest values. The aim is not to feel good about money in every moment, but to create structures that keep you moving toward your values even when emotions swing, so you wake up with a plan rather than a regret. Let us begin with a practical exercise. Write your money story in a single page, then underline the beliefs you want to upgrade and the actions you want to adopt, and you will see concrete starting points emerge that you can tackle this week. You might discover beliefs like "I must earn more before I can save," or "I am not disciplined enough to budget," and you can begin to replace them with statements that support your goals, such as "I can automate a portion of my income and learn to live with less than I earn." Next, design a tiny rewiring plan that relies on 3 pillars: automate, simplify, and reframe, so you have a clear sequence you can repeat without exhausting your willpower. Automation means paying yourself first and setting up bills and transfers so you never have to decide again in the moment. Simplification means reducing accounts and categories to what actually matters, and reframing means changing the language you use about money from self-criticism to constructive, goal-driven questions. Automation is the most powerful lever because it uses the brain's preference for least effort to build a durable habit, and it creates a steady, predictable flow that you can rely on even when your schedule becomes chaotic. When you set up automatic transfers to a savings account and you do not touch that money unless a specific goal arises, you begin to rely more on systems than on willpower, and you notice your future self becoming less of a stranger. Simplification reduces decision fatigue by eliminating redundant accounts, confusing labels, and endless toggles that tempt you toward friction and indecision, and it frees cognitive bandwidth for choices that actually matter, such as whether to reduce a recurring expense or redirect funds toward a goal. A simple budget that covers essentials, a target for saving, and a monthly review creates a rhythm that you can actually keep, which means you can monitor progress without feeling overwhelmed. Reframing is the practice of turning inner critic language into constructive action, so you convert shame into curiosity and momentum, and you learn to ask better questions rather than berate yourself for past mistakes. If you catch yourself saying "I am reckless with money," you can transform that thought into a plan. "I will pause, reassess, and choose one small, intentional action today, and I will notice what triggered the impulse." Another central concept is identity. You are not merely someone who spends or saves, you are a person who consistently aligns money choices with your stated values, and that alignment is strengthened by small, repeatable behaviors you enact daily. When you adopt that identity, every small decision becomes a reflection of the you who cares about future you, not a chance occurrence, and you begin to tolerate friction long enough to reap compound benefits. To translate identity into action, practice a habit stack. After your morning coffee, take 2 minutes to review a single financial goal, then automate a related action, and finally jot down one sentence that reinforces your intended behavior. Or after you unlock your phone, glance at your budget and confirm one line item you will adjust, even if only by $1 or $2, and celebrate that small act as evidence of your growing discipline. These tiny rituals are the mortar that holds your mindset together across changing moods and shifting incomes, and they create a recognizable pattern you can rely on even when life knocks you off balance. The goal is consistency, not perfection, and that requires embracing small experiments, learning from mistakes, and gradually expanding what you automate and simplify as you gain clarity about what truly matters. Another pillar is emotional literacy. Learn to ride urges, not resist them with brute force, because urges pass like weather and your choice today can change the forecast for tomorrow. Techniques like urge surfing, cognitive reframing during cravings, and delaying gratification for a concrete benefit create a buffer between impulse and action, which means you can behave in ways that align with your long-range goals. Finally, someone's money beliefs are often inherited from family, culture, and media, but you have the agency to revise them, especially when you treat beliefs as hypotheses to test rather than absolute truths. Notice when you absorb a belief because it sounds sensible rather than because it helps you reach a goal, and replace it with a belief that makes a concrete plan more likely, such as I will experiment with one new saving rule this month. A practical weekly routine can anchor your progress, track income and essential expenses, check your savings rates, and compare your actual to your target once a week, giving yourself a calm moment to adjust before friction grows. If your numbers drift, adjust the plan by one small amount rather than overhauling the entire system. Small, reversible tweaks beat all-or-nothing rewrites and keep you building confidence. In the end, rewiring your money mindset is a journey of gradual identity change, supported by clear structure and compassionate self-talk that acknowledges the emotional reality of money without surrendering to it. You can begin today with a single habit, a single sentence you repeat to yourself, and a single automation that takes the decision away from your willpower, moved forward by patience, consistency, and a belief that change is possible. More examples emerge as you watch money mindset in action across different lives. A nurse who redirects a small weekly coffee budget into a dedicated emergency fund discovers that a few dollars can cushion nights that stretch long and acid test decisions later. A college student who cancels a second streaming service quietly reallocates that monthly amount toward a used book fund, and over a semester the total buys a critical textbook that opens a new opportunity. An author who bets on micro-investments of $1 per day after each sale finds that consistent, tiny bets accumulate into a surprising cushion, and the habit changes how they think about risk. A parent who holds a weekly family money talk, inviting each child to pick one expense to optimize, turns budgeting from a drill into a shared project that teaches responsibility. In each example the pattern remains the same, a tiny decision, automated or simplified, reinforced by a clear purpose, and repeated until it becomes part of how life is lived rather than a separate task. Now practical steps you can implement this week. Start with one anchor, pick a fixed amount or percentage to automate and set it to transfer on payday. Then simplify, review all accounts and collapse to the minimum number that actually serve a clear purpose. Rename or remove categories that create friction, aim for a compact, understandable map of spending and saving. Then reframe, write one constructive question you will ask yourself before any major purchase, such as does this bring me closer to my top value? Then schedule a 15-minute weekly review, compare your target to your actual, adjust by one small amount, and celebrate a small win. Build a habit stack. After morning's coffee, glance at the day's savings goal, then confirm one line item to adjust, then pause to reflect on the outcome before moving on. Finally, test one new rule this month, such as a rule of 24 hours before non-essential purchases or a rule that every windfall gets directed toward debt or savings. Common mistakes include chasing perfection and attempting a grand revamp all at once. The brain favors steady, small improvements over sweeping changes. Another pitfall is ignoring emotions and treating money as purely logical. Urges are real, and you need buffers to ride them. Over-automation without accountability can create blind spots and lead to missed reviews. Using too many accounts or complicated labels creates decision fatigue again. Failing to align with values leads to automation that doesn't stick. Ensure your goals link to what matters to you. Finally, setting targets without a plan for maintenance leads to drift. Build in a weekly moment to reassess. In the end, rewiring your money mindset boils down to identity plus system plus compassion. You are the kind of person who makes decisions that honor your future self, and you prove it not by one heroic act but by many small actions repeated with intention. Automate to reduce friction, simplify to free your attention, and reframe to keep your mind curious instead of self-critical. Start today with a single habit, a single sentence, and a single automation, and let momentum carry you toward consistency, clarity, and lasting financial peace.